back to my channel. Today I brought you one more video on Prometheus and Amazon MSK service integration. So here we'll discuss about the steps to integrate your MSK cluster with your Prometheus instance that you are running maybe on any EC2 instance or maybe on on-premise, right? So in our case, I do have one cluster. It is a sample cluster. I use the default settings just to show how would we integrate, right? And I do have one EC2 instance where I'm hosting my Prometheus instance, and I would integrate both of them so that I can monitor my cluster related things over the Prometheus, and then I can export it to Grafana and wherever I want, right? So as you can see on my screen, uh, currently I'm on Amazon MSK service. So what is that MSK service basically? So it is a service that is built upon the Apache Kafka, right? So the application, those which were traditionally using Apache Kafka, now they can migrate to Amazon MSK service if they are using Amazon Cloud in their environment, right? And they can use it because the main benefit here will be like AWS will be managing the server services for you, right? So you'll not have overhead of handling the brokers and other things that are the other components of MSK service, Apache Kafka, right? So this is about MSK. The second thing is like Prometheus, which is one of the basically most popular open source monitoring tool that is being developed on time series kind of model. So it basically uses the pull-based mechanism to ingest the metrics into the monitoring server, right? Prometheus server, and to store it, and then it processes the matrices and shows you in the visualization and allows you to send the alert notifications or integrate with Grafana and other tools. So it does have multiple exporters and libraries which you can use within your application or in your environment, and you can build a really good monitoring solution for your environment, right? Okay, so now let us start with the steps. So you are seeing on the screen I'm on Amazon MSK. So this is the cluster that I'll be using to integrate with Prometheus, right? Once I'll click on it, you'll have to go to this action here. You'll click on it. You'll go to edit monitoring. Here you will see one option, enable open monitoring with Prometheus. So this is the feature that you'll have to enable. What it will do basically, it will create two kind of endpoints for your Amazon MSK cluster, right? One is for JMS exporter, one is based on the JMS exporter, another one is based on node exporters. So every broker in your cluster will be having two endpoints. One is for node exporter, one is for JMX exporter, and those endpoints will be exposing the matrices to you, which your Prometheus instance will ingest in their system, right? So once I'll enable it, I'll save it. It will make the changes. You'll see your state cluster is active here. That's the only thing that you need to do here on the MSK side. Now let us jump on to Prometheus instance. So in my case, as I said, I do have one EC2 instance where I'm running Docker containers, and my Prometheus is basically running in one of the containers, right? So I'll take you to the EC2 console, right? Okay, let me just retry that. Okay, so we are inside the server. As you can see, these are the containers that is being running in my system, right? One of them is this Prometheus cluster, Prometheus one, right? So this is the Prometheus instance that is running in Docker. What I'll do, I'll in parallel open the Prometheus console as well, where we'll see the matrices. So here is that. So you can see this is the Prometheus. So it is running on 9090 port. You may not be seeing the search bar, right? Because the window is a bit small here. Let me show you that as well if I can. Yeah, so this is the URL. Okay, now what I'll do, I want to integrate my Prometheus with the MSK, right? I have done the configuration at MSK side. Now I need to make some changes in Prometheus so that it can identify the endpoints. So I'll tell to Prometheus, okay, these are the endpoints where matrices are exposed, and you need to ingest these matrices into the Prometheus server, Prometheus storage, right? So that will be done through the configuration, right? As we know, Prometheus is having a prometheus.yaml file that basically specifies the targets where it will be looking for the matrices, right? So we'll go inside that. So in my case, what I have done, I have exposed the particular volume to the directory inside the container, which is having the prometheus.yaml file. So I'll directly go to the directory here. Okay, so as you can see, I'm inside the directory. So this is the volume that I have exposed from the container to my local host, right? So now I can directly make the changes here. I'll not have to go inside the container and make the changes, right? So I'll make the changes here and I'll then restart the container. So it will take the new configuration. So now, as I was saying, we need to modify the Prometheus.yaml configuration file so as to tell him like these are the targets that you need to look for to scrape the matrices from your MSK, right? So I'll show you how you'll do that from Prometheus.yaml. Okay, so once you'll go down, here you can see I have created a job with name broker, right? And this is the tag I've used, file sd configs files, and then I've given targets.json. So what I'm saying here, you need to search for the targets that is present in the or that is configured in the targets.json file. So I have those names stored in this file and I'm directing Prometheus to look for that file to get the target definitions, right? So I'll go out of it and I'll look for targets.json here. Okay. So as you can see, this is targets.json where I've given. Right. So here I've given first label as JMX. So in this JMX label, what are my targets? There are three brokers in my Amazon MSK cluster. So for JMX, it uses 11,001 port, right? And for Node, it uses 11,002 port. So JMX and nodes are basically the exporters that have been inbuilt in our MSK cluster, and they are exposing the matrices to our monitoring tool, right? So I've given the DNS name of those brokers right here with this port. So these are the targets that Prometheus will be looking for our Amazon MSK cluster. Now from where you'll get this DNS names here, I'll show you that. You'll go to your MSK, right? And you'll go to properties here. You'll scroll down. You'll see the brokers here, right? And these are the endpoints, which are basically the DNS name of your brokers. So we will be basically monitoring these brokers only, right? So this is how you will configure it. So you have given the DNS name of the brokers, you have given the port for specific jobs like GMX and nodes, right? And you have saved it. So I've already made the changes and saved the changes, so I'm not doing that again, right? It's just to show you how you'll do that. So once you'll do it, what you'll do, you'll have to restart your Prometheus. So in my case, I've already done that, right? So I need not to do it. So once the restart is done, you'll go to your Prometheus, you'll go to your configuration here. So you should see this particular configuration here, which you have given in prometheus.yaml file, right? So this is like broker we have given where we have said like this is the target that you need to look for, targets.json file, right? Now I'll go to targets here. In the targets, you can see there are six targets that are coming for this. Three for JMX, three for Node. So these are the targets that we have configured in Prometheus, right? Targets.json file. So these are the endpoints which are visible here, and we can see the state is up here, means Prometheus is successfully collecting the data from these endpoints. Or now where you can see this data, you can maybe go to your graph, you can look for metric at cursor, right? And from here, you'll see these are the Kafka related matrices that are coming from those endpoints. So you can directly go to any of the metric, you can see the data for that if it is available, right? Let me change it to something else. Okay, maybe. Okay, so you can see we are getting a pretty cool graph here. That means data is coming successfully. There is no issue, right? So this is how you integrate your Prometheus with the Kafka cluster. Now, one thing to notice here, in my case, my EC2 instance was in the same VPC as that of AWS MSK. in your case, it could be different scenario there. There could be different VPC. So you need to make sure that your Prometheus instance is successfully able to resolve the DNS name of your broker so that it can reach out to that particular endpoint where the matrices are exposed, right? So you need to make sure of that. For that, maybe you can modify the security group of your MSK and allow some inbound rules there for that particular Prometheus instance, right? So you need to make sure of that. Maybe there could be some other scenario where you need to do peering, right? So those are the network configuration that I believe you'll be able to do that. So this is how we integrate Prometheus with the MSK. I hope you have liked this video and it will help you to uh, in your work, right? Thank you. So I'll say thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.